Alright, here we go. Yeah, so this time we're doing a live study for this King's Indian attack. This is chapter 5 now. Before we begin, I'm going to announce a few changes that I ended up having to make for this. First things first, I know for a fact that we were supposed to be talking about the pure modern defenses, but the problem that we are running into is that some of the lines that we're going over in the pure modern, like those areas, they transpose directly into the King's Indian defense. Like, I know for a fact that there's a quote unquote accelerated King's Indian that Levy suggests, but we're not going to cover that. We're going to just the lines we're going to recommend are going to be like going to just transpose directly into King's Indian defense. So to to prevent the confusion, we're going to just get the King's Indian defense chapter out of the way first. But we're going to cover the newest stuff before we actually dive into like the actual King's Indian defense, like mainline stuff and what have you. I'm not quite sure how likely this Alekin anti-Grunfeld line would actually come up, but there's a there's a specific like gambit line you could play. It's called Goglidze attack or monster energy drink attack. I know for a fact that like it's supposed to be called Goglidze attack, but then for some reason it's like it's got a murky history behind it. The player named Goglidze, he somehow played this as white, but then if you look at the moves in the database, it's apparently an opening for the black pieces. And I genuinely don't think I've looked at the theory information and I genuinely don't think that white even has any real attack going on. If anything, the side that actually has a viable attack going on is probably black. So I would argue that this Goglidze attack is more of an opening for the black pieces, and I also figured that there would have to be a much more proper name behind it, and I thought about a lot of different ideas, but I ended up landing on Monster Energy Drink Attack. Monster Energy Drink Attack. Yeah, so this is called Monster Energy Drink Attack, and it's again for the black pieces. And yeah, we started with the dragon, and now we're going to actually take on the black side of things in this King's Indian attack course. I know for a fact that it's called King's Indian attack, and it's supposed to be on the King's Indian attack, but we're actually going to cover like a bunch of different Barkza, that's Barcza, Barkza, like where we're going over that non-committal structure, and we're actually going to like cover various different openings that use that same structure. So that's why we're covering more than just King's Indian attack. We're covering like the righty gambit, the Queen's gambit declined, the Catalan as well, and we're also covering stuff like the dragon, the King's Indian defense, which we're going over in chapter 5 right now, and we're also going to cover stuff like the pure modern, the Banco and Blumenfeld counter gambits, and there might end up being some other stuff that might come up, like some other openings that involve this same system. We will also go over some stuff like, say, how to face some of the Queen's Gambit decline stuff, which we're also going to go over, which is like there's there's something we recently discovered which is called the Shara Gambit, which we will also cover in the Queen's Gambit course. We're also going to cover like how to play the black side in Rogozin defense. We're also going to cover stuff like was it Alban Counter Gambit, which has seen a recent resurgence with the G6 variation, and we're also going to cover like some of what to do for white side of things as well, because like I know for a fact that like if you try to play the Reiti Gambit, but then you might come up with some, or you might end up having to play Queen's Gambit or you might not Queen's Gambit decline. Sorry, you may end up having to play Queen's Gambit because you're just out of options. Like you're probably up again. You're probably up playing a championship match or something, like say a local championship or maybe a regional or even a provincial or even a national championship, and like a championship event, and like you may have to play multiple various kinds of openings, but like you're just out of options, or you're just having a bad tournament run. Like in that case, you may have to look into something slightly more positional. So you may end up having to play the Queen's Gambit, and then you may end up facing Alban Counter Gambit yourself. And we'll go over what to do with the white pieces as well. But just be aware that the Alban Counter Gambit is no longer refuted. So if you're going to actually try to fight against the Alban Counter Gambit, you're going to be in for a wild ride. That being said, for now, we will jump right into the newest theory information in regards to the Monster Energy Drink attack. It starts in D4, Knight to F6, C4, G6, the King's Indian, and then F3 is the Alekin anti-Groenfeld variation. And then against this, we will play D5, the Goglidze attack. Or Monster Energy Drink attack. But in what we call Monster Energy Drink attack, this is not the main line. But you can see stuff like C takes D5, Knight takes D5, and then your opponent might push this pawn, and I mean you don't actually take back with Knight takes D5 in the line we're going to be talking about, but this is the quote unquote main line that everybody currently knows. But against this, just casually just slide the knight over like this, just standard maneuvering stuff. Knight C3, Bishop G7. Sorry. Bishop E3, castles kingside, Queen D2, Knight C6, and this is very much in the spirit of the 150 attack you see here. They're not going to get that many attacking chances, you just trust me. Castles queenside, Queen to D6, Knight to B5, Queen D7, King to B1, F5, Knight to H3, A6, Knight to A3, F takes A4, F takes E4, F takes E4, F takes E4. The most popular lines: Queen to G4, D5, Queen takes E4, check. There is one move that saves the game, but I'm not going to spoil it. But the most popular move at club level, very likely, King to A1. And you make this Knight to A4 move. You're sacrificing this knight right here. You're sacrificing this knight right here. And most likely he'll take. Against this, you sacrifice an entire bishop at this point. No, you don't. The knight is guarding it. And it's pretty much mate in a few. unless your opponent actually knows their way out. But queen takes b2 is pretty much forced, which means you will be able to take your opponent's queen for free, and your opponent is just going to have a really bad time. Rook b1 is the most likely move that they'll have here, and then queen takes e3 is like, and then you're just pretty much winning. You should be having a relatively good time here. But the main line I'm going to recommend in this, as soon as your opponent takes your pawn, is you offer up another pawn. The computer doesn't like it, but it's actually a very powerful gambit that you're going to see. This is the mainline Monster Energy drink attack right here. Against this, you're most likely he'll just take. To which you take back with the knight. And then if your opponent tries to attack this knight, that's a mistake, because you get to sacrifice your queen if queen takes, knight takes, and then your opponent might do something a little more stupid, like say e4. You just go queen takes d1 check. Just take your opponent's queen, and then you force the loss of castling rights. Or you could be doing stuff like, say, they could be playing like knight c3 to kick your queen, but you just... Same idea. So d5 is obviously not the best move that your opponent could be playing. Your opponent's best try is e3. Against this, your opponent could be playing a lot of different options, but the main idea is just keep it the same. Just fianchetto and castle. Knight c3 most likely move. Just castle. d5. Oh wait, no, they're not gonna do that. d5, sorry. This is what they're gonna play. Against this, just knight to d4, yeah. No. Sorry. Oh, yeah, sorry. Knight to b4, sorry. And you just counterattack that pawn. You just counterattack that pawn. If he pushes, you already know what the deal is here. You just take back, and then your opponent has no answer. Your opponent could be doing stuff like a3. Oh. Your opponent could be doing stuff like... Your opponent could be doing stuff like a3. Wait, it's not... Oh, right. It's not that time yet. Okay. E6, right? Let's delete that. E4, E6. If your opponent plays A3 here, you just go knight to A6. If your opponent just takes, queen takes and bye-bye. Your opponent might play something weird like, say, D6 here. Against this, you have queen to A5. No, you don't. You do? You don't. Well, what happens if you play queen to A5? Bishop F4 is the only move that saves the game. E5. But he can just take... No, he can't, because... the queen's guarding it. Bishop E3 is like the next move they got. And then you have bishop E6. You're pretty much better here. But in the But you could also play queen to b6, which is the move we did look at, which is you have that threatening you're going to ease away the bishop first, but they're not gonna have a good time here. That pawn is gonna be like really weak. Against this, they might play something like a3. Just rash your knight back, and then your opponent could be playing something really crazy like queen to a4, the most natural looking move here. Knight to d4 is the best move. If takes. Knight to b5 is the best move here for white. Against this, we might have no. Against this, we have we just route this knight back. If takes. Don't worry about that one. So that's like the main line that your opponent has to know. So his best try is e3. He might be playing just about anything, but no, I don't know. Yeah, he might be playing just about anything like knight to a3. That's an inaccuracy, but your game plan is still going to be the same. And then he might play e3 afterwards, and then you just castle. And then he might play something like f4, and then you have g5 to counterattack that. If takes, queen to a5 check. And then he'll do like bishop g2, and then you just instantly win that pawn back. And then if he plays stuff like knight to f3, trying to kick your queen, you just brought back here, and then your queen is safe, and then it's still pretty even, but you'll have a decent time here. But your opponent might do something like, say, e4, another natural looking move. They think they got it pretty crafty, and they want to like reveal this discovered attack and what have you, but yeah, this check, and your opponent will think they're clever, but you get to check like that, and you can only guard with the bishop or the queen, and then if you guard with the queen, you just win the rook for free. And then if guard with the bishop, same thing. So that's obviously not gonna work. So what happens if they do something even more stupid like g3 right now? We have queen d5, knight to f3, and then it's like what, e5. E5 is the next move they might, but it's like takes, they might do something like that. They might do something like this, which well, they might not do it this early, but d takes e5, knight takes e5, and then they might take back like that, which thanks for the rook. Or they might play bishop g2. You knight d3 check here. And your opponent will be forced to bonk cloud. And then you have rook to d8 forming this battery. And then he'll probably do like queen to b3. You don't need to trade queen, just go queen to h5. Your opponent might play bishop b2, which is another thing that they might do. You just bishop g4, right? Yeah, just put the tension on there. Castle, and then takes, and then you have knight takes f3 check, attacking the king. His only move is to take back with the queen here. You win the bishop for free. Another thing that they could be doing here is like say. Another thing that they could be doing here is like say. What happens if your opponent plays this? This is another natural move that they could be playing. Against this, you just sacrifice. You sacrifice your queen. Takes, and you're pretty much better. Another thing that they could be doing is like say e4. I don't know why they would do that, but that's another thing that they could be doing. You know the drill. Another thing that they could be doing is like say bishop g7 is another one, so this. Oh no, that's not right. E3 might be another one. Just kick the queen. Just backing on the fact that the bishop is guarding that pawn. Just sidestep back like this. And then bishop b5 is what they'll try to do next. Against this, just bishop g7. Bishop g7, which is yeah, just fianchetto. Just ignore that and just go fianchetto. d6 check. Just take. Knight g2. Castle. So yeah, as you can see here, we've already maintained the same structure that we originally saw, and yeah, that's pretty much the new theory information that you just need to know at this point. And yeah, good luck and Godspeed.